The River Tyne has been a great asset in the development of Tyneside as a port and industrial region. But the river has also been an obstacle to north-south communications, and as such it had to be bridged. Currently there are 7 bridges between the city areas of Newcastle and Gateshead. At this point it passes through a narrow gorge. The advent of railways prompted the building of the so-called high-level bridge. It was designed by Robert Stevenson and built between 1847 and 1849. The high-level bridge is both a road and railway bridge. It spans nearly 1,400 feet of river valley, including 512 feet across water. The bridge was closed to road traffic in February 2005 for essential maintenance, and it remained closed until the 2nd of June 2008. Two-way traffic in earlier times, but it now operates only in a southbound direction, carrying buses and taxis. North and southbound pedestrian traffic is permitted. The swing bridge, the 4th bridge to occupy this same site, was designed by William George Armstrong, one of the great Victorian engineers and innovators. The 2 centre spans swing open, powered by hydraulic engines. It was revolutionary at the time, and the mechanism used today is still the same machinery originally installed by Armstrong. The steep incline on the south side of the Tyne takes us down to what is the only low-level river crossing for vehicles. At this point the cathedral and the castle come into view, and between them St James's Park, built 1,000 years later, the home of Newcastle United. The King Edward VII Bridge was built at the beginning of the 20th century to cope with the increasing amount of rail traffic. Work commenced in 1902 and the bridge was opened by King Edward VII in 1906. Massive steel lattice girders carry 4 railway tracks, and the bridge is used by both intercity and local traffic. This is the most solid looking bridge on the Tyne, and looking upwards from the quayside walk certainly confirms this. Downstream from here is the Tyne Bridge, 80 years old in October last year. Architecturally, it is described as a compression arch suspended deck bridge. It was built by Dorman and Long and Company of Middlesbrough. Its big sister is the Sydney Harbour Bridge, much bigger but with the same design. The Newcastle version was officially opened by King George V and Queen Mary on October the 10th, 1928. The 4 towers which support the bridge were built of Cornish granite and were designed as warehouses with 5 stories. However, the floors were never completed and possible storage areas never used. For many years, the bridge carried the A1 road directly into the centre of Newcastle, but since the opening of the Western Bypass, the road is now the A167. Nowadays, the towers are sort of high-rise apartments for colonies of kittiwake gulls. The Redheugh Road Bridge is the third one to be built on this site. The two supporting concrete piers were fluted to give an impression of lightness. Work on this bridge began in 1980 and it was opened by the Princess of Wales in 1983. Built of precessed concrete, it is much lighter in appearance than its predecessors. This blue bridge is the Queen Elizabeth II bridge. It carries the Tyne and Wear Metro, for which it was purpose-built. In 1991, these 6 bridges were recognised as significant landmarks in the landscape of Tyneside. Then, at the turn of this century, came the Gateshead Millennium Bridge, the world's first and only tilting bridge. It opens periodically for shipping and for sightseers, and for major events such as the Cutty Sark Tall Ships Race. The bridge stretches 420 feet across the Tyne, and the top arch stands 165 feet when in the upright position. It cleans up its own litter. Anything dropped on the deck automatically rolls into traps at each end of the bridge each time it opens. These 7 bridges make up what must be one of the most remarkable and dramatic urban river landscapes in the country.